Hello, and welcome to the Viral Times. I'm bringing you the latest and most pressing news from around the world. Today, we turn our attention to a developing story. President Trump orders new tariff probe into U.S. copper imports. On February 25, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order initiating a national security investigation into U.S. copper imports. This move aims to assess the potential imposition of tariffs to bolster domestic production of a metal vital for various industries, including electric vehicles, military hardware, power infrastructure, and consumer goods. The investigation, led by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, reflects the administration's concerns over foreign influence in the global copper market, particularly from China. Background and rationale. Copper is indispensable in modern technology and defense applications. Its excellent electrical and thermal conductivity makes it a preferred material for electrical wiring, electronics, and renewable energy systems. In defense, copper is integral to various military equipment, including vehicles, aircraft, and naval vessels. The rising demand for electric vehicles and advancements in artificial intelligence further amplify the strategic importance of copper. Despite its significance, the U.S. has seen a decline in domestic copper production capabilities. The country now relies on imports for approximately 45% of its copper consumption, a significant increase from near self-sufficiency in the early 1990s. This dependency raises concerns about supply chain vulnerabilities, especially in scenarios where international trade relations become strained. National security implications. The administration's decision to investigate copper imports is rooted in national security considerations. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick emphasized that the decline of the domestic copper industry could jeopardize the nation's defense capabilities and critical infrastructure. He stated, "American industries depend on copper, and it should be made in America, no exemptions, no exceptions." This perspective underscores the belief that a robust domestic copper industry is essential for national resilience. White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro highlighted concerns over China's strategic maneuvers in the global copper market. He noted that China employs state subsidies and economic influence to dominate industries, a strategy previously observed in steel and aluminum sectors. Navarro warned that similar tactics in the copper industry could undermine U.S. economic and security interests. Scope of the investigation. The Section 232 investigation will comprehensively examine various forms of copper imports, including raw mined copper, unprocessed copper or extracted directly from mines; copper concentrates, partially processed ores with higher copper content, ready for smelting; refined copper, fully processed, pure copper suitable for manufacturing; copper alloys, metals where copper is combined with other elements to enhance properties; scrap copper, recycled copper materials reintroduced into the production cycle; derivative products, manufactured goods primarily composed of copper, such as wires, pipes, and electronic components. This extensive review aims to identify the impact of these imports on national security and the viability of the domestic copper industry. The investigation is expected to conclude within 270 days, culminating in a report with recommendations for potential trade actions, including tariffs or quotas. Potential economic and trade impacts. The prospect of imposing tariffs on copper imports carries significant economic and geopolitical implications. Impact on trade partners. Major copper suppliers to the U.S., notably Chile, Canada, and Mexico, could face substantial export challenges. In 2024, these countries were leading sources of refined copper and related products for the U.S. market. Tariffs could strain trade relations and prompt retaliatory measures. Domestic market dynamics. Tariffs may lead to increased domestic copper prices, affecting industries reliant on the metal, such as construction, automotive, and electronics. While the intent is to stimulate U.S. production, the immediate effect could be higher costs for manufacturers and consumers. Global supply chain adjustments. Companies might seek alternative sourcing strategies, potentially increasing imports from countries not subject to tariffs or investing in domestic recycling and refining capabilities. Such shifts could realign global copper trade flows and impact international market prices. Industry response. Key stakeholders in the copper industry have begun to respond to the administration's actions. Domestic producers, companies like Freeport-McMoRan, a leading U.S. copper producer, may view potential tariffs as an opportunity to expand operations and market share. However, as of the announcement, Freeport-McMoRan has not publicly commented on the investigation. International suppliers, exporters from Chile, Canada, and Mexico may need to explore new markets or negotiate terms to mitigate the impact of potential U.S. tariffs. These countries might also engage in diplomatic discussions to address the U.S. administration's concerns and seek exemptions or alternative solutions. Historical context and precedents. The use of Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 to investigate and potentially impose tariffs is not unprecedented. In his first term, President Trump utilized this authority to implement 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports, citing national security concerns. These actions sparked debates over the balance between protecting domestic industries and maintaining healthy international trade relationships. Critics argue that such tariffs can lead to trade wars, with retaliatory tariffs from affected countries, potentially harming other sectors of the economy. Proponents contend that safeguarding critical industries is essential for national security and economic independence. Conclusion: the initiation of a national security investigation into copper imports signifies the administration's commitment to reinforcing domestic industries deemed. Thank you for tuning in to the Viral Times. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this and other important stories from around the world.